so I don't actually know if anybody's going to watch this, because it's been quite a while since I've uploaded any proper videos, but it's probably for my own reference really more than anything. I thought I would do a quick tour of the polytunnel. Today is the 19th of March. It's been pretty rubbish weather, we've all been putting up with it, just consistently now. Had some nice sunshine over the weekend and it was actually really nice and warm in here, but we've gone back to our usual quite cold, damp, overcast, low sun conditions, which is a shame, but still I'm persevering. I'm getting a few things planted. Got some roses here soaking that came today. I think they're Queen Elizabeth roses from the Thompson & Morgan deal that was, I think it was on just before the weekend. There was loads of stuff that was discounted and I saw it and I was tempted, but they don't look the best now, but I think by the time I pop them on and they start to grow a bit through the spring and summer, I think they will pick up again. So I've got a little row of lettuce planted along there on the right, and then these two darker ones are just some radishes that I covered over the seedlings with just a bit of grow bag, just to give them a bit of something else to work with really. I have got some spring green manure in this one, kind of just for fun really, and I thought I could just dig it back into the soil once it's done, but I'm not really expecting a lot to come from that because it was quite old seed. I think a few are starting to germinate here in the middle, but that is about it. So we'll see. I might end up having to plant something else into this afterwards, but that's alright, that doesn't matter. I've started digging over this bed. I had my tomatoes along here last year, just sort of going right up through, and they did really well. Anytime I plant tomatoes, I put half a grow bag in the planting hole and then a bit of fertilizer, and then sort of mound it all over, put a bit of fertilizer on the top, and it always works quite well for me. I do the same for anything like that, courgettes, cucumbers, and they tend to do really well. But all of this soil through the whole polytunnel really is really compacted, as we sort of built all this ground up and leveled it out with the digger, so it's quite hard going to dig any of it over. And last year I literally just ran the chickens along this bit in some runs until they were allowed to be let out again. So hopefully that should, well, you can see how the grass is sort of, all the weeds are eating up all the nitrogen, so I need to get rid of those really before the soil sort of loses its condition again. But my plan is to just sort of have like nice sort of growing bay through here this year again, and the same on the other side, leaving a bit of a sort of pathway through the middle that I can drive in if I need to or anything like that. But I'd been quite lax with it last year. Pretty much all of the plants I had right through here to about where my dog is there, I didn't have any time to water them, and I'd come back and more would be dead and more would be dead. In the end I just kind of gave up and I thought I'll just leave it till next year. So unfortunately lost quite a lot of plants, but I'm going to, well, I've already invested in some sprinklers and a mechanical water timer, so all I have to do is in the summer when I'm busy on grass I can just come down, turn that on, set it for 2 hours or whatever it needs to be, and it'll hopefully water that through. It will just really help save time, because it's the watering that's always the killer for me. But one way I'm looking at it is everything that's survived are really hardy, so at least they shouldn't be dying too quickly now if they do dry out. So I've got quite a few plants really here saved, a few more of those, a couple more roses that arrived last week because they had a deal on. I've never really grown them, so I just bought them really for fun to see what happens, and a few other things in there that luckily my more favourite plants are the ones that survive, so that's something at least. In here I got a few dahlia tubers which I need to get planted this week because I love dahlias, and I was a bit neglectful of my other ones, and I kept them going for a few years in fairness, but I forgot to do anything with the one winter, and then that was the end of it unfortunately. So got quite a few seeds on the go here though. Got a few herbs and things I've bought as little plugs here just to grow on, and then I've got all sorts really, rhubarb, peas, beans, some aubergines, lots of different tomato seeds, but they're quite old seed, so nothing's happened yet. I'm hoping when the weather warms up a little bit they might suddenly pick up, but I'm not remaining entirely hopeful because they were quite old seed and they've not been stored the best, so I won't be surprised if I don't get anything growing. A few broad beans there starting to sprout, some giant pumpkins, again kind of old seed, but it'd be nice to see if they do grow. I do like growing pumpkins. They're just quite fun, quite easy once you get them going, really. Just give them plenty of dirt. Some onions, I think, planted in there, some more tomatoes at the back. Found a sort of stray daffodil, well, 5 or 6 actually, that must have been in the polytunnel from last spring and never got planted, and somehow managed to survive. So I just stuck them in a pot, but I don't expect they'll do anything, but I thought I'd try them. These are my sister's lettuce. She thought she could plant a load to feed for her goats, so going to get all of these planted out soon because they're way too overcrowded and need separating now, really. So going to get those planted once the weather dries up a little bit, but it's just not having the time to do it because there's quite a lot in there. I expect goats might just end up eating the actual seedlings rather than many plants, but I'll try and plant a few so they're not wasted. Some more beans growing through, lots of rhubarb planted again. A little bit early possibly for rhubarb. I've never really had much luck with rhubarb though, and again I had lots of seed, so I thought I would just try some. Some strawberries again, they're not mine, they're my sister's, but they're growing on really nicely, which is nice to see. And then over here we've got quite a lot of strawberries because I just love growing them. Just basically growing them on in these pots, and then I'm going to plant them in the polytunnel somewhere. Probably sell a few as well, just to make back some of the money for them, which would be nice. A couple of little aces that arrived today, and I'm currently in the process of potting these bare root lupins. I think these are the Noble Maiden variety, and I've got another mixed one that I'm now about to start potting up. But for now, I'm just working on those. And I've also had some new plants arrive today, which I walked past at the start because I forgot all about it. But these all came today as well. So I've got a hosta collection of 5 bare root plants, and then a crazy colour collection, which I don't think I actually ordered, but hey ho. So some alliums, some oxalis, anemones, and tritalia. Never grown those before, so should be interesting. Some Chinese lanterns, or physalis. I had these a few years ago. Absolutely loved them, but again, I think I put them outside and forgot about them, and then unfortunately the frost got them, so I'm going to be a bit more careful this year with everything. But now I've got the polytunnel, I don't have to put so much stuff outside, which is good. And I've also got some peonies, Duchess de Nemora, I think, Nemours, so I'm going to be getting those planted in. Just a few more things that I don't normally grow. Some Aquilegia, I've done some from seed a few years ago, really liked them, so I thought I'd do some more. Begonias, again, never really grown them, so I thought I would just try a few because they were the right sort of price. So it'd be interesting to see how they do. And also a pack of tree lilies, because I love lilies. And they're another one that I've grown like a few now and then, but it's one that I never really think to grow. When I'm sort of in the planting mood, I tend to go towards more bedding plants and vegetables and things like that. And I tend to overlook a lot of the bulbs. So this year I thought I would try a few. They may be a little bit late to plant, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll plant them anyway, and I'm sure something will happen with them. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Starting to lose the light now in the evening after work, but it's getting there. It's sort of about 6ish now, or 6:30, so we still got a bit of light left, and every evening get a little bit more time down here, staying brighter for that little bit longer. And the same in the mornings before work, it's that brighter for that little bit longer, which is nice. So we're getting there now. Soon be summer, soon be spring. Doesn't feel like it at the minute, but we've got to be getting there now. So yeah, looking forward to the weather drying up hopefully and brightening up, because it is just, at the minute, it is just dismal all the time, and nothing really grows like this. So hopefully we'll have some nice sunshine, warm up the polytunnel a bit, and we'll finally have some plants start to grow. And my dog is about to knock over all the strawberries. Yeah, Peter, get off. Good boy. You know not to stand on them. You do. You look too innocent, so I can't get mad at you. No. So yeah, pretty much at the minute my routine is come down here. I feed the lambs first thing when I get up, then I come down here, go to work, feed the lambs part way through the day at the minute, because I've not quite knocked them back to 2 feeds a day yet. Yes, you're a good boy. I know you want to be centre of attention, don't you? Yes. And then finish work, come down here until it gets dark, go and feed the lambs again, and then tinker on in the workshop with tractors and all. As you can see, a couple have managed to make it down here. The one nearest to me is a far. That one will actually run, so I'm going to try and get that out, because really it needs to be in the shed now before it gets too damp down here again in the spring. Just been clearing a space really, because I had that many plants in the way, and now I've got all these pots. The plants had died, so you can see how many plants I'd lost, which is a shame. But hopefully this year having that irrigation will really help, and just taking a different approach to it really, rather than just growing things from seed or just buying things in. I'm just trying to do a nice mix of that, but also going for things that I wouldn't normally grow, just more fun things really, and taking a more fun, relaxed approach to it this year. Definitely going to be heavily mulching everything, so I don't have to go around weeding everything all the time, because that's something I always struggle with, is actually motivating myself to weed it, because there's right planting it and fertilising it and looking after the plant, but it's the weeding that can take a while if you sort of neglect it. And I'm terrible for, I'll be on it for the first few weeks and then kind of lose it a bit, and before you know it, you've just got weeds taking over everywhere. So hopefully I'll be able to stay on top of it a bit more this year. As soon as stuff starts growing, I'll probably post another video, but I think that is it for now. So if you're still watching, if anybody's watching, thank you very much, and I will probably be uploading again soon. Bye.